Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Sorry.
Yo, Rex, can you check if the stream is working? My stream, if my stream is working. Hello? Can you guys hear? Hello? Can you guys hear the stream? Hello? Can you guys hear the stream? Okay. Still waiting on everybody to join up here. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Wait, what? Oh, is he 1v1ing? Oh, I think he's 1v1ing. Hello, hello. I'm just gonna log into the Twitch manager thing on my phone so I can read the chat. Probably try to read it here too, but looks like yeah, no nothing yet. How's everybody doing today? Refresh chat here. Yeah, we're still waiting to start here, guys, so just gonna wait until we have everybody. It is almost hitting that mark here for when we need everybody, for the first game FF, but hopefully we can get everybody in. Getting a mobile login so I can read the chat a little bit easier. I think we're waiting on 3 more people before we can start the match and get the draft going. What's the ETA? Let's see. Still waiting on one member, but it looks like they're going to draft here soon. Slight delay here coming into the second to last week of regular season games before we go into playoffs. Just a reminder that everybody in this group that these two teams are playing in has already qualified to playoffs, and they're just playing for seeding. Let's try to open up this draft lull here. I think this will give us a spec link. Might also just kill my computer, but we'll see. Yep. And 992415. What does it mean your browser is not currently supported? What the hell is that? I have to go to the new draft law link. Let's close out of this one. All right, well, I think I can't really log into the mobile one, so we'll just try to read chat on here periodically. Okay, here's the draft spectator. So it looks like blue side is going to go for the first pick, Ezreal here. Pretty standard first pick, pretty safe, decent matchups into most picks. Something to look out for that Curse of Dragons can probably play is the Sivir into the Ezreal. Ezreal really suffers to have some damage to the Sivir as the game goes on. Another common pick into the Ezreal is the Ashe. Can really slow him down, decrease the mobility. So let's go ahead and see what Curse of Dragons goes for here. Ezreal, it's a pick you want to go when you want to try to win the lane or go stable in the lane. But it doesn't scale very well, especially if you're not proficient at the pick. So let's see what Curse of Dragons has to sort of punish this Ezreal, if anything. Looks like they are going to go for the Caitlyn. This is one of the matchups that can really dominate the Ezreal. She's able to dish out a lot of damage from a higher range. Obviously, Ezreal Q is longer range than Caitlyn autos, but can't really hit every Q on Ezreal, right? And they're going to lock this Scion, so I'm not really sure where this is going. Goons does like to play this in a lot of different places. So we're not really sure with this team how they're going to draft. They are going to go for the Aatrox. I don't really like the Aatrox into the Caitlyn. You do get kited very, very easily, but it is Nigel's. Aatrox has been banned against him the entire split, so he might just pick it here. It is good into Scion into the lane, but you will eventually get outscaled. They're going to lock it. So that is the Aatrox. Normally, you're playing Kyle here. His Talon is up. His Pantheon is up. So, and David knows. David is being Curse of Dragons does know Kyle is a player. So they must have something planned here if they're going to leave two of the premier picks for Izistar, one of the better junglers in the league, up here. No, instead they're going to opt to go Ezreal Milio. Milio is a common pick in support, especially the season OLS. Provides a lot of value with the healing, the AoE cleanse. Ultimate. And can even help you. But no, instead they're going to pick the Malphite. So this is making me think that it is Goons on the Scion mid. Could also be Scion support, but hard to say. So they're going to take the Sylas away. I think this is a very smart ban from Curse of Dragons. Scion ult and Malphite ult providing huge value for the Sylas. And Sylas has an easy matchup into the Malphite. So pretty happy with that ban. They're dropping Kyle to the 4-5, even though some of his main champions are still up. So again, they must not think it's an issue. So I'm very curious to see what this team has planned. No ban from MapleRag's team. Let's get a confirmation in the chat here. So Zach is banned. So that no ban there is a Zach. Which I honestly don't know how much of you really care about a Zach ban here. I mean, like Ezreal, sure, he might not do too much damage into it, but you can pick a lot of mid laners that can do heavy, heavy damage into this sort of all melee comp. With the Caitlyn that Curse of Dragons is trying to opt in for. But just to be safe, they are banning away Zach and Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks, B-Bone has made a name for himself in several previous OLS splits on this pick. Smart ban from MapleRag. So they're going to opt for the Vigar here. This is a pick that can do very well into a lot of melees, but they don't. Again, like Kyle is a proficient melee player, and they still do need a mid laner. So I think Hoptech does prefer to play a lot of these mids. But no, they're going to pick a Hoptech Azir. Azir Ezreal, it's a very standard pro comp. I'm not really sure how strong Ezreal Milio is, but generally the Ezreal sort of takes the brunt of carrying the game through the early stages and allows Azir time to scale. And both of these carries can play at a range. The Hoptech Azir is locked in. And Azir is going to like that there's this beefy front line in front of everybody. Going to really cut through them. Hoptech also one of the premier mids in OLS this split. So let's see what he can get done with the pick. We're going to round out the comp with Diana. Interesting. I don't know how good Diana is this game. Oh, no, actually, no, it's going to be a Kayn. Okay. Yeah, I'm more partial to the Kayn. I think Ross has a lot of value this game. Depending on this last pick, you could also just go Blue Kayn, right? You get a lot of more easy access onto the Vigar. You can R and have more potential to outplay his cage. And obviously, with going like a million miles an hour, you can reach the Caitlyn despite her attempts to kite you. So a lot of options here, and they are going to go for the B-Bone Rammus. Now, Rammus is a champion that has been pretty low prio, as we after the recent changes to him that sort of nerfed his armor resistances and buffed up his MR resistances as compensation. So he's kind of lost a role here. This would be a pretty solid draft, I would say, if it wasn't for that that fact. Wide needs to move over to the other side. And looks like we are going to get into the game now. The team's going to finish picking out the draft here, and we'll see where it goes to from here. Chat here. Nope, nothing. Here's it. So generally, because of the stream quality that I have here, we do generally wait around 2 minutes before we actually get into the game. So please bear with me if there is early action. Looking at draft, I think Azir is like Thanos this game. You do have a Caitlyn that can sort of start to try to poke him down, but they're picking Azir into these like 3 melee comp. You know, you have a Rammus, you have a Malphite, you have a Scion, and these tanks, I should mention, do have ways to engage onto the back line, right? But if blue side is able to execute perfectly, I don't think there's a world where anybody can touch blue side this game. And on top of that, even if somebody does actually get onto them and touch them, they do have the Milio Q, they do have the Milio ult, so they have ways to disengage. Y is also a very strong AD carry in his own right in the league, and a lot of pressure is going to be on him to carry through an early game lead and get his team to a point where they're stronger in the mid game, because this Azir is going to be a ticking time bomb this game, man, and let's see what they can do to stop it. And now that they have this sort of Scion, Aatrox, oh sorry, not Aatrox, Scion, Malphite, Rammus front line, Aatrox does get a lot of value this game. I mean, they do have the the Vigar and the Caitlyn that cause some trouble for Aatrox, but if Aatrox gets a good flank and he's able to come out of the lane phase ahead, you're going to be pretty worried with this team comp. And also, it is one of YOLO's premier picks, so there is something to be noted there. Let's see how we can do with it. It's been permabans against all split. Fixes on the 1-2. And actually, I'm not really sure what the ban priority was for Curse of Dragons team here. Generally, the logic has been you want to ban Azir, you want to ban a lot of hot tech champs. Potentially, you can also index into banning Kyle champs and the Azir. But this is the first time I think I've seen a lot of Kyle's champs actually get left open. And instead of going for the Pantheon or the Talon that he's well known for, he opted to go for the Kayn here. Also one of his good picks, but not nearly as common as some of the other ones. So it actually, wow, it's going to be Curse of Dragons Vagar support here. And they're going to put Menacing Menopause on the Malphite mid lane to play into the Azir, and Goons on the Scion. So if I am looking at this enemy team comp, I kind of want a Goons to go into the mid lane here against the Azir. Scion with his shield and his general sustain in the lane with the grasp and other things is more able to tank what Azir wants to dish out this game, whereas a Malphite is probably better suited in the Aatrox matchup. Aatrox is pretty strong in the early levels in this matchup, given that Malphite doesn't really have a dash. But once Malphite gets his first second back, if the game state is even, Aatrox does. You do see that Aatrox continues to struggle in this matchup. I'm sure Malphite can be fine, but into Azir, but I would not recommend it. And with this Ezreal Milio lane, I'm not really sure how this Caitlyn is going to provide a lot of value for the Vagar is going to provide a lot of value for the Caitlyn, but Curse of Dragons is very well known for the pick. He is sort of the strongest player on this team, at least from a rank perspective. I think Y is probably similar skill level, or maybe a little better in terms of what he brings to this team. But Now we're just going to cancel, and it should load. Should eventually load. That should mean we're going to be in game soon. Yep. Yeah, we're around the 2-minute mark. It looks like there was no really level 1 shenanigans. Looks like they are going to stick with, yeah, what I talked about, Goons going to the mid lane against the Scion and Malphite trading into the Aatrox. Let's go ahead and set up these player things here. Fortunately, I don't really have the OLS set up here, so you guys are going to have to bear with me for stream. We're not going to be able to see the nice little faces that the teams have provided, but, you know, I'll try to make up with it for the casting quality. So it looks like looking into the bot lane here, the Caitlyn lane is pushing into the Azrael Milio, which is to be expected. Kane padding towards the top side here, trying to get some of the stronger players of this team ahead here. I do like that Aatrox started W there. Malphite does no really dash to punish, but he's not able to get the second Q in time, and Malphite's able to walk that one. B-Bone here, going for a interesting clear path. Looks like he finished the red last. And actually finishes it around the same time as Kyle. So, going to be able to reach the rest of his camps in a similar fashion. Both of these champs well known for their mobility, right? Rammus with the Q and Kane with a lot of dashes and the E. Goons here trying to suffer the wrath of Hoptech in the mid lane rather gracefully. He does have a Doran shield, which is going to allow him to sustain in a lot of the lane. I don't really know how to check his runes, but he should have the Revitalize as well. Looks like they're going to go for trade here. Caitlyn hits the trap. That should be a kill. First blood over to Y and Curse of Dragons. This is exactly what you want to see if you are Project Ditto. And, I mean, you see Malphite getting pushed in the top lane, but you're actually pretty okay with that. CS numbers are pretty even. He is going to miss the cannon there, but a lot of, like, Malphite is expected to go down 20, 30 CS in a lot of matchups, so if he's even, you're pretty happy. Those Qs are going to start hurting. You see it already chunked her out, probably about like an eighth of his HP, and that cooldown is pretty short, so going to be trying to abuse that. Kane looking to invade, but isn't really. Actually, Kyle, bad read on him, but he is going to try to catch Goons instead. Goons might be forced to blow the flash here. Nice movement from Goons. Really nice movement from Goons. Rammus can actually catch Kane here. Yeah, Rammus looks like he's going to go. Is this trying to heal off of the camps? Is going to try to Q away. Looks like he's going to get out for that, but great evasion from Goons in that gank. 1v2, soaking a lot of pressure there, and actually getting Kane Flash for his troubles. B-Bone is here to try to cover some of the wave, and is just going to go back to clearing his camps. This is a great way, sort of way for Goons to play it. He does dodge a W. I do think that Kyle should just try to blow the flash a little earlier. He can hit the Q right, and then probably hit the W after, which might kill. He does have Hoptech behind him, but instead he just blows his flash and doesn't really get anything out of it. It should be noted that Rammus does not have flash. He has Ghost here, so he'll be able to chase down a lot of these kills a little easier. Gotta go to directed camera here. As we look in the bot side, Ezreal is going down a significant amount of, not significant amount, probably like a wave and a half of CS, just to be expected. Jameer here taking a lot of damage, bone plating coming to the rescue there. Why Jonathan Silksong trying to trade back with Q. Baker is running out of mana here though, so you do have to be careful. Rammus doing a good job covering this Azir. And I honestly, I really like how this early game is going so far for Project Ditto. They are the underdogs in this matchup. I think it's safe to say that Big Brolic Cuties is the number 3 team in OLS right now, squarely behind For You to Push and New Banana. But they are forced to be reckoned with here, and one would think that there would be a clear gap between this team and you know, Project Ditto here, but no, they're able to keep punching in the early game here and keep things even as we head into minute 6. Where I was actually up CS. A2 Yellow going for a greedy trade, but actually coming out worse for wear here. Malphite now starting to see him start to lose the CS numbers in the top lane, but he's going to catch a wave and you know, it's going to get some of that back. However, I should say that we're seeing some trading here. Alpha could look for a solo, I think, but no, HR still has a ult. Kane is hovering, wants to play it safe. Kane's trying to invade some camps, but Rams is just clearing all the camps that Kane is trying to invade. Goons, I don't really know what that was. I'm gonna be honest. And off of that death, Kane's able to trade for plates, but they are gonna get some damage on this Drake here. Zero not opting to really stop them, and they're just gonna go for a bot lane 2v2 here. Jamir actually does get stunned in the end. Ramus dropping the Drake, trying to go for some kills here, forcing the flash out of this Milio. Mr. Bebo should go down here. This is a greedy look from him, and just as I was praising their early game, it's all falling apart here. Why still strong to his credit, but wow. Free Dragon given away for some kills, and the gold lead they'd established is now just gone. Kane going to steal away this Raptor. Ramus is now behind. All off of that greedy mid play. If you're a Scion in the Azir matchup, I think you're honestly pretty content to just scale as well. Obviously, Azir is going to be a problem, but trying to force looks on this Azir, especially with the Ramus that can't really, you know, point and click target the Azir, it's just not really worth it. But it looks like they're going to go for a collapse onto A2 Yellow in the top lane here. They don't know that Kane is hovering, but they do have a numbers advantage. Kane looking for the gank, but there's numbers here. Alpha does not have the ultimate, forced to flash away, but yeah, seems to be a bit of a coordination problem going on for the Project Ditto team here. I think that was a pretty easy 2v3. They're going to go for it now, but this time Hoptech is here. And buying time with the ultimate. Resistor taking a lot of damage. No ultimate to escape here. B-Bone should take him down, but now they have to worry about Hoptech. And no, that is Feats of Warfare claimed by A2 YOLO. Goons trying to buy some time here to let his jungler escape, but it's not enough. Goons is going to end up going down, and that's 2 kills to Hoptech. This Azir is going to be a menace as we get into the late game. As we see here in the chat, Kane is midway to transformation, and going to be looking to go for Rost based on the runes here. There is a scope that he goes for Blue Kane even with the Conqueror, but can't say for sure. So the kill feed does go over. Curse of Dragons NY trying to break this turret, trying to move this Caitlyn into the mid lane as fast as they can to start getting some gold back in the form of plates, but this is not what you want to see out of Goons here. He was playing the early lane very well, dodging that early gank, but with some, you know, trying to go for some proactive plays, it's just sort of thrown his lane, I think. I do want to particularly call out how sort of disorganized the play on A2 YOLO was. It was pretty disjointed. You had Sion walking up into him while Ramus was trying to attack from here. But now they're going to try to have the Grubs contested. Sion ulting here a little early. Is going to be able to actually take the plants that A2 YOLO did knock himself. Goons keeping A2 YOLO at bay. They get the 2 Grubs, so the feet is secured, but Azir and them want to fight. I think they should just leave. I really think that Mr. Bebo should ult over the wall right now. He does have the smite. He's going to try to greet it, and he gets it. He's going to try to all around here. Great disengage. This is what I want to see. They get the Void Grubs. That's going to be very useful when you have this Caitlyn and you have this Sion, you know, split push demons here in the composition. And winning out on an objective in what was looking like a slowly bleeding out game. Speaking of bleeding out, this Malphite is now down CS. Props to A2 YOLO for finding that CS lead in the matchup. Noticing Menopause using that move speed from the Q to just walk away. It's down a lot of levels though, so something to be wary about. But on Malphite, you're okay going down a couple gold. You're still going to have that huge AoE ultimate. You're still going to be relatively tanky into this all armor except for Azir comp, so pretty happy. A2 YOLO trying to go for a kill here, forcing ult for ult trade. Alpha ult is going to be more useful in the long run, so I'd say that's a good look for him. I'm just starting to get shredded, man. That is a full item gap here, as Goons is going to go for that heart steal. Oh, Goons didn't have to do that, I think. It didn't really stop the recall. But no, he's going to have to be forced to stay another wave. He does have a TP, luckily. Well, Hoptech does not. That's probably why Hoptech is trying to pressure as much as he can. Should be noted that Caitlyn is also on one item here with the collector completed. It's going to be very, very lethal in these fights. Look at that damage, man. Jameer just took 1 Q to the face and is now at half HP. Rammus was thinking about an engage there, but knows that Azir's in the back, and is actually going to go for this Kayn here. I think this Kayn is low-key griefing. Azir finding a massive scoop, but they're kiting the Azir very, very well. Zister should be dead. Wise does get the kill, but blue team is forcing the enemy team out of the map here. Wise is going to try to get some, not Wise, sorry. Menopause is going to try to get some plates. It should be Drake secured for the enemy team, but Siren is going to execute here. Going to get the turrets. I think the minions here. I think that's fine. See if we can get the cannon. Yeah, he will. So overall, not too bad. With the grubs, they're able to actually regain that gold lead that they had lost here. 1 second, guys. Sorry guys here, I had to step away from the screen for a bit, but Drake had actually gone down to neither team when I thought blue side had a clear angle for Drake. They're not really sure what happened there. Caitlyn is going to try to clear out the first tower here. They're looking on goons. He is just going to walk it off. Rammus is here to cover. Menacing Menopause, sort of making up the level difference here, only down 1 level. And this is a very, very late start for first Drake, so Soul is not really going to be a viable win con as this game goes on. Azir hasn't even come close to knocking down this turret yet. And now the team is just converging onto the carries here. It looks like we're looking at fighting mid lane for some reason. Rammus is going in. Siren's going to ult. Kayn is dead. No! Great escape from the Kayn here. He's going to get out. I think that they should try to disengage. You can just give this dragon. It's only first Drake. It's 14 minutes. You don't have to fight it. You have no ultimates. Yeah, smart to disengage here. But no, it looks like actually enemy team is not really confident to start it either. I would think that blue team just runs at it, but no, they're I mean, I guess they did lose Kanar. But Zister is under a lot of pressure this game. Looks like they're just trying to one-shot him and take advantage, but B-Bone is going to defend his camps. Red team is going to destroy that first turret here, and they do have a winning matchup here in the objectives. B-Bone going to take a lot of damage. He doesn't have the ultimate to save him. I don't know if Kayn can solo kill this, but red team is converging on this no ult Zister. Taking a lot of damage here. Going to get Q-slowed. And they got him. That's a kill. And they're going to catch Jameer here too. Azir is going to get out, but this was a great look from the red team. I think A2 Yellow should die here too. Yeah. He might trade for the Rammus here. Yeah, he actually is going to trade for the Rammus. But it should be a kill over to another member of the enemy team. Wide picks it up. Shut down for him. 3-0 on this Caitlyn, up 40 CS. And this is a great early game coming out from Project Ditto. 2,000 gold lead is nothing to scoff at, and you know, we're talking about the scaling issues. We are worried about this Azir here, who is probably going to get a massive back on his next back, but Sion has weathered the storm. You know, he is on item parity, at least right for now, with the Heartsteel. Caitlyn is much stronger than Ezreal. Ezreal did hit Triforce, but Caitlyn has a whole BF sword on him, while Ezreal is still stacking that tier. So this is kind of what you wanted to see from the team. Menacing Menopause pressuring that top turret, forcing ATOLO to TP there, and now Menacing Menopause has gained the TP advantage. They're trying to converge on this Malphite, but he's too slippery. He doesn't have the ultimate, but he does have flash, he does have everything. Blue team is going to try to force a fight on this Herald here. It looks like both teams have forsaken the idea of taking the drag. Azir is TPing, and I think you just trade for the dragon. Yeah, you're pretty okay with this Witch Herald. Of course, the dragons can try to stall for as much as he can, but they should be pretty much gone. Malphite has to be careful on this top side. They can't just send members to try to overload. I guess Veigar's here just to try to keep them here, try to keep them interested, and not really look for too much. As this Veigar does have the Roa stacking, and Sion is pushing on the tier 2. Yeah, that's an issue with the overload like this. You're going to lose some value here. Sion massively dealing a lot of damage to this turret, and is going to clear that wave as well. Azir's here to cover. I think Sion just wants to go for the turret. He's going to get it. That's 700 gold, and a turret taken down. Caitlyn with an IE now, 2 items up. A2 is starting to struggle into the matchup. He is going to go for that Black Cleaver first, which I think is a nice move. Goons, I think that was a late ult. I think if you're going to ult, you have to ult a little bit earlier there. Goons greeting that, and will pay the price for it. Hot deck now 3-0 on this Azir. We'll get that Heartsteel stack. You know, there's a consolation prize there at the end of the day, but yeah. Goons did get the turret what he wants for it. Dying there is technically worth from a gold perspective. Caitlyn taking a lot of damage from Jonathan Silksong. Going to deal a lot of damage back. Jameer blocks the ultimate there. He forced to ult in turn. And they're going to pressure this Milio, yeah. Azir and Kayn are trying to trade for that bot tier 1, but now Caitlyn's pressuring the mid tier 1, and Malphite's pressuring the top tier 1 pretty hard. Ezreal forced to take a recall here. Kayn actually getting counter jungled himself by the Rammus, not sort of what you expect from this matchup. Don't really like the Huber start here. Is going to try to get the double charge of the Herald. Is going to be successful there. Y is going to try to get the Herald, at least get the XP there. Of course, the Dragon's walking in a pretty dangerous spot, but Rammus is here. Kayn ulting away immediately, just forcing that trade there. Azir's hitting Caitlyn. Caitlyn is forced to barrier. I think Kayn goes down. Yeah, great kill from Rammus. No, the gold lead has ballooned to 4,000 gold. Aatrox struggling to find value now that Malphite has hit item parity on that Sunfire Cape. And at this point, you're putting all your eggs in the Azir basket. And if there's an Azir that you want on your team right now in this OLS league, it probably is Hoptech. Very, very strong on the champ, gets it permaban. These are the first time we're actually seeing some of these champions open. You know, Kyle Kane, A2 Yellow, Aatrox, Hoptech Azir. So let's see what they can do with it here. So now the Caitlyn team has taken all the outer turrets. You have developed a lead, right? But it's nothing like game breaking. Actually, $5,000, 4.5K is a lot of gold, but at 20 minutes. But it's not like the game's in the bag, right? So Caitlyn has sort of taken these turrets, established a gold lead. Now it's a matter of what she does with it. I think what they want to do with it is they want to try to start stacking these Drakes. I don't really agree with the Malphite teleport there. I'm not sure when the next Drake's timer is, but now they know that Malphite has no TP, and Aatrox is free moving to the top lane with a TP, knowing that he can play there if he wants. Looks like instead of the Drake, they are going to play for the Otacon. Kayn sees the bot lane of enemy team moving there. Sion has TP, so it's good that he's matching the Azir. I don't want to see... Goons might look to ult here. I don't really want to see that. Goons is now just trying to stop Hoptech from TPing. And no, it's just a members gap. The Sion is drawing a lot of the enemy team to see if they want to kill him. But no, they're just going to lose the Otacon. And yeah, it's just a slow rotate coming up from the enemy team. Kayn here. Kayn is a good champ to try to steal away the Drake. He's going to go for it. Blue team has stolen the Thornbound Otacon. Not really what you want to see, but... He does go down. Hoptech now getting dunked on by the Sion, who's going to force the Azir away from the fight. The only strong member of the enemy team. The Otacon is gone, but let's see what red team can do with this now. The red team does have the Malphite ultimate. I kind of wanted to see Malphite just look and go, but no, they're not going to go for that. Azir has reconnected with the enemy team, if I'm not mistaken. No, Azir died. How did Azir die? What the hell? So it is unfortunate you give over the Otacon there. But it's 2-2 with the objective feats right now, believe it or not. So this next Drake is probably going to decide the game. A2 YOLO a bit late on the Q stop there for the recalls. And this is the issue. This is the issue if you were the red team. Look at this charge taken number here. This 4.5k gold lead has sort of persisted for the past 2 minutes. 4 turrets have been taken for red team, only 1 for blue team. Generally that means yes, red team has a solid lead. But if this Azir is able to go crazy in a fight, he can just clean up a lot of kills and turrets can be taken and this gold lead is suddenly down to nothing. But let's see if they're actually able to make it nothing. Kayn is shown in the mid lane here. They're trying to pressure the mid tier 1 turret. If I'm red team, I think I just give it, F the turret, bro. Who cares? Yeah, go for the Drake, get the feats, get those guaranteed stats. Yes, you give them a little extra gold, but you're still ahead so much. Going for Jonathan Dilsog here. Oh, Jonathan Dilsog flashing instead of going for the E. Not really what you want to see. Blue team getting corralled into this choke. This is where Malphite thrives. Sion ult goes down, Malphite ult goes down, Caitlyn is hitting, but Caitlyn is chunked. Doesn't even matter though. Veigar is going deep here. B-Bone crashing into the enemy team. Great Azir ult. Jonathan Sosong does go down though, and it's just Azir versus the world, and Azir likes those odds. Go to E in. Trioptic trying his hardest to reach the Caitlyn, but why just lives? 7-0-3 on this Caitlyn, doing so much for his team. The bot lane remaining deathless here as they push into these outer turrets. Wow. And Y still has flash. Azir flashed for that engage, and he still has flash. It is week 4 here, or I guess week 7 of the OLS matchups, and both teams here have come to play. Very, very strong showing so far from Project Ditto. Malphite has a bit of a garage sale going on here, a garage sale situation with these items, but I mean he has resistances, he's pretty happy with what's going on here. You want to point out that I think Menacing Menopause, Bister, B-Bone, Goons, Y, Chris Dragons, they've all played with this game plan for the early game and target this Kayn. And especially now that Kayn has opted for something like a Hubris, which doesn't really give him a lot of health, this Kayn has actually ended up very, very squishy. So Kyle, on one of his signature champs, is not really able to get much done in the game here. A2 YOLO still struggling to knock down this tier 1 here. Kyle is there, and it looks like they're moving up to try to dive this Malphite, who does have ultimate, does have a sort of get out of jail free card. Galen is not connected to the fight right now. They're looking for a pick on Curse of Dragons. They're going to find it. He's living for quite a bit. He lived for so long. Curse of Dragons living there. That's a huge engage. They sent a full Sentinel on him. Kyle just flashing, trying to get a kill out of it. Will end up getting it, but I think he'll go down for this. Menacing Menopause is chasing down this Aatrox, and the fight is just one. It's just one for Red Team. They looked for the pick on Curse of Dragons, this no-flash Veigar, and they don't get it. Sion TPing, looking to put the finishing touches on this game, and what a strong showing coming out here from Project Ditto. I was worried about the draft, I was worried about the Azir pick, but the Sion is just able to sort of neutralize the Azir. And despite some early mistakes in the laning phase, honestly solid performance from Goons. Obviously standout performance from both Curse of Dragons and this Caitlyn. Millie and Azir are here. Looks like they are going to get the respawn time is quick enough to stop the base, but Caitlyn is pinging this dragon, and Rammus is recalling. He's going to be here. Goons going to try to draw as much attention as he can. I do like this. He does not have TP, but he's just going to try to stall, and he is going to be able to stall. Azir has not hit that 3-item spike where he hits that Thanos mark. Azir probably can chase down here, but Sion is actually peeling them quite a bit. Gets a nice shield, gets a nice run away here. Trying to bait this Azir. Goons! Wow, he's doing it, man. This is I really like how he's playing this. And because of how he's playing this, they lose their Azir and their Milio trying to chase down the Sion. Even if they get him, it's not worth it. It's a 4v3 in the Nash. Hop deck here is split between both sides, does have the teleport, probably gonna look to teleport soon, but no, these recalls keep getting canceled. He's not really sure what to do. He's getting pulled in both directions, and that is the Nashers coming out for Project Ditto, and I think Aatrox is just caught. Taking a lot of damage here. Ult goes down. Curse of Dragons! Making this Vanguard support work. This is a desperation play trying to stop some backs. Not really sure when he gets out of this. I think he's just losing. No, Hoptech is connected to the fight. DP does go down. Menacing Menopause might have to give his life, but B-Bone is trying to peel, trying to get some damage in the back line. This is where you have to be careful. Malphite ulting out. Azir is going to try to connect from the side. There's the Dragons, keeping them at bay. Resistor with a nice E, trying to get as far as he can, but Malphite is dangerously close to death here. I don't really know if I like him staying. There's the Dragons is kiting, trying to get some damage here. Does not have the ultimate here, just trying to buy as much time as he can. Support will go down, but you're pretty happy. You have this Caitlyn barreling down the lane, trying to get these inhibitors here. If you can get 2 inhibitors for the stalling that of the teams have did, you are very, very happy as red team. B-Bone, wow. Great time on the ult. He might still end up giving his life. No, he's just out. Wow. These team fights have been a pleasure to watch here, coming out from the Project Ditto here. Why is actually zoning away the Kayn here. Kayn lead 2-7-3, just completed the Shojin. 2 items where you look at this Rammus. Also 2 items, but just somehow has a lot more value in the game. Red team doesn't want to start to Nash straight up. I think they just should. I think they have enough of a gold lead that they can just smack them around, but no. It's going to reset. I think Kayn is just giving. It looks like Kayn is just giving. No, but they actually want to play for the fight instead. Rammus has ghosted. Has been interrupted here. B-Bone taunting the Emilio. They're going to try to just clap him, and they do, but is that worth full sending on the Emilio like that? I don't know if it is. Rammus running away. Goon's getting caught in the Aatrox W, and you know, he did get a pick. Maybe this makes it quite a little easier, but this Malphite suddenly is very, very low. He does still have the ultimate, something very, very important to note here. Azir has hit the Rabadon's 3-item spike. Azir just wants to trade the turret here. He knows it's not Soul, but the enemy team is not listening, and with no jungler down, they're going to try to trade for the tier 2. Finally, his team follows. I do think that these split calls are costing a lot of value for the blue team. And now they might have to end up paying with their lives for it. B-Bone coming in from the side. Hoptech just trying to focus him. B-Bone taking a lot of damage. Is going to actually go down here, but Nigel and the Aatrox will be traded for it. Another shutdown to Azir, but it just ends up going even in the 1-for-1 trade. Caitlyn is half HP, but he is 2 full items of Ezreal. Look at that! Look at that headshot. Ezreal is just down to 40 HP. They're going to be able to catch Jameer here too off of this, I think. No, not really. Azir's going to zone them away with his soldiers there. Kayn looking for a flank on this pretty low Caitlyn, sweeping the ward. But he's going to get spotted. What a headshot! I don't actually know if Wyatt does die here. Kayn actually hits everybody except that Caitlyn is going to trade his life for it. Oh my god, the hero scoop from Hoptech. But no, Caitlyn's just too strong. Goon's flashing in, trying to get in there, trying to get some damage in on the remaining members. They want to put the finishing touches on this game. As Rammus starts barreling from the base. They're going for the end here. This is kind of great look from Nigel, and Caitlyn is shut down. What a look from Nigel. What a look from Nigel. They're able to probably stall the game now. Is this turret also going to flash there? Crescent Dragon's going down. Shutdowns are just giving left and right. The gold lead is still 8k, but Goons is going to go down as well. You have Rammus here, but there's no damage. It's a wet noodle fight. I think you just take the inhibitor and you leave here. Close to that Ocean Soul. Bit greedy here coming out from the Caitlyn. I don't think she should stay with that HP. Honestly, from Caitlyn here, you probably want to go for something like a BT, so sustain here. Shutdown, I should say, notably does go over the Aatrox. He's not going to be able to do much with that at this stage in the game, which is rather unfortunate, but still really good look from Nigel to stop the end. Still an 8.5 gold lead, a 3 dragon lead here from the red team. But you cannot help but remember, it is Hoptech's Azir. You know, the champ is permabent against him. He's been able to get some things to happen done this fight, and he's sort of one of the veterans of this team, you know, former Grandmaster player. He knows how to play out these late game situations. He knows how to get his team across the finish line despite this sort of deficit. So he's the player to watch, I think. A lot of pressure on him to perform in this fight. They catch Jameer. Bone plating actually helps him quite a bit there, but Jameer is low. Going for a flash engage. Caitlyn is caught. That's a 1,000 gold shutdown over to the Azir, and now I think they've lost a lot of their damage. This is the part of the skill issue we're talking about. They're just sending it. Menacing Menopause also goes down here. Why? Gets caught off position, and that's 2 kills over to blue side. Gold lead now down to 6k in just a matter of 1 Caitlyn death. This is a sort of issue you start having. They're still fighting a fight. Tremere takes a lot of damage. They're trying to hold here. They do not want to give any gold. They're posturing to defend here. They do have a Scion. They do have a Rammus. And they do have the Veigar damage coming out, right? Oh! Great cage. Great ultimate for the Scion. Doing a lot of damage here. Is it enough? No, it's not. Goon's trying to heal up with the shields. Is actually going to get away with his life here. But Azir scaled. There's only 4 items here. Void Staff completed. HR's here to clear the base, and they're going to look for the Nash. It should be noted that Mr. Beepone is dead, so it's going to be a hard contest. Caitlyn walking up here does have still a massive gold lead, but I think he's going to get caught on the wave again. No, Caitlyn, you have to be careful. And she's just dead. Yeah, you're starting to see red team sort of fall apart here. Caitlyn now 3 deaths just in the past probably like 4 minutes. And you can't really contest like you used to. These tanks, early tanks here coming out, this Rammus, this Goose, this Elfite have a lot of base damage, but now that Azir is scaled up, you don't really have the damage to just bully him and keep hitting him. Rammus is up, so they can't really start a Drake very safely. Caitlyn timer is 23 seconds. Goons trying to just keep the Azir away from the team. I like this from Goons quite a bit. They're going to try to walk in here, stop the recalls. Recalls are stopped. This is a look. You have a timer here. They're going to go right onto Jameer. Jameer is caught. And they're going to catch the Kayn here. They're going to try to. Not going to be able to. Goons here keeping the Azir at bay. 2 members have to be sent to just deal with the Scion. Now that Caitlyn's up, I think they're going to try to just hit the Nash. No, they want the soul. They want the permanent buff. They know the support is dead. They know it's a 4v5. And Nigel trying to get away here, but is going to take the full damage of the Q. Jonathan Silksong is caught here. Mr. Beepone not as tanky as he used to be, taking a lot of damage here. Not really what you want to see. But they're going to try to start the Drake. I think they should just start on the Drake, and now the Jameer is probably going to be up. Mr. Beepone does have the first here to sort of heal up. The jungler is now getting to that better HP mark. It's actually behind an item on the Kayn, which is surprising, but he might have just caught some shutdowns. They're going to try to pull the Drake this way. They see Sion that's marking the Kayn. I like this quite a bit. They're trying to get this Kayn out of the pit. I think they're going to be up. That's the Drake. That's the Ocean Soul. Ocean Soul is taken away here. They're going to have a massive buff here as they're going to the Baron fight. And I think this is the Nash that ends the game for both sides here. If Azir is able to ace the enemy team, this will be the game. Actually, not a single bit of heal cut coming out from the blue side here, which I don't really like. Especially that he knew it's an Ocean Soul, but maybe they just think that there's not enough healing. Sion has gotten very, very tanky, skilled very, very nicely into this game. And Rammus also now has hit item parity with this Kayn. Opting for that Hollow Radiance, I do believe, on the second item and the Thorn Mail on the third item. Thorn Mail, I think, is a sleeper pick here, very good into all the champs that were in this game, and actually good into Azir as well. You see Rammus on the flank here. Blue side is sort of getting corralled in this mid lane while Aatrox is trying to clear the wave. Aatrox is now looking to connect with the fight, but they are going in! Rammus has caught the Ezreal. I don't know if Ezreal really want to go here. Jameer should die here. No, Jameer lives. They're putting a lot onto it, but Caitlyn's still hitting. Caitlyn is free hitting. A2 YOLO has the all refresh. They're looking for him. Mr. Beepone is caught, but Caitlyn is trying to kite the enemy team. I think A2 YOLO is dead here. That he is. It's just Azir and Kayn versus Caitlyn and Veigar. Veigar trying to flash Q. Oh no! Oh, the minions! Did they go for the finish? It's just Azir. Azir has great wave clear. I don't know if they can actually do this. Pop deck is low. You do have the Ocean Soul. Looks like they're just going to try to pressure the inhibs. Yeah, they're just going to go for the second inhib here. I think that's correct. I think Azir is very, very scary. He has no ultimate, but he doesn't have flash, and he can start just melting. And these are the two inhibs you do want to take as you look for this Nash or Caitlyn opting for the Wit's End here to sort of get a little bit more peel. But this is what I'm talking about, man. This is Zero's just pumping in these team fights. He's not going to get much stronger. He has hit that full build mark. Oh, sup DC. Wow, what a first game. What a first game. See if we got any messages in the chat here. Nope, doesn't look like it. Let's go back to the game. Can I type anything? No, I can't type. Oh, it does say Jamir has disconnected here. So, you know, there is some validity to the claim. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty free Nash. I mean, actually, I wouldn't say it's actually free. I mean, Aatrox doesn't have TPS, but Caden is up soon, and Ross is up soon. So they can fight this. Azir is full HP, as we see here, has full items, has Azanias. So I think it's going to come down to Azir, but once the Nash goes down, I don't really know how much blue team can hold the tide here. But if blue team is able to close the game out, if blue team is able to secure the win, you're gonna have to see, why kicking himself kicking himself here as he gave away 2 deaths, one particularly just for walking up mid lane without enough vision and without enough protection there, giving the Azir that 1,000 gold shutdown and accelerating him even further. Might be being a little overly critical given he's 15-3, but I mean, as you get into late games, you kind of have to understand your role, right? If this is like a Veigar, if this is like a Scion getting picked, it's just so bad for the game. But the shutdown plus you being the main source of damage for your team here, there's a lot of pressure on Y to perform. So far, he has been doing it, but there's still a game to play. There's still League of Legends to play. You're starting to see Kayn, now that he has that Black Cleaver, now that he has that Shojin, both double cleaver. Don't really know how I feel about that, but it's probably fine. I mean, who are you really cleavering for? You know what I mean? Like, Ezreal's not really the one pumping a lot of DPS in this fight. I guess you could say there's an argument for Kayn, but I would rather the Kayn actually go something like a Starax here, be able to avoid that the burst that is enemy team, because I mean, think about it. I think it's Caitlyn, generally pretty bursty AD carry, Veigar, Malphite ult, who's looking to just sort of one-shot you. I think Starax has a lot of value this game, but instead opting for the cleaver here. Oh, I do believe it's a Thornmail that's coming up. I'm gonna take a minute to hold my voice here.
A summoner has reconnected.
And right as I said that, the enemy support is reconnected. So, yeah, we'll see. Looks like we're gonna be ready here. Tense moment as we go into the Nash. Ah, excuse me. Both teams have ready. Hot Deck has unpaused the game. All eyes on Hot Deck. Rammus barreling towards the next time. TP here. Caitlyn has set up a bit of a trap line into that brush. I don't know if that's where I want it to be, but that's all he's got right now. And they're going to start hitting. And the Aatrox are late, but they're just melting. They're melting it. It's up to Azir here. I think they just want to give. I think they're just going to try to hold it, yeah. Asher's gone. Ezreal flies in late. They're going to look for the Aatrox here. Ramses is coming. Ramses has connected. Aatrox dashes away, but there's a cage, and they caught him. But that's a lot of ultimates used. A lot of ultimates used just for one pick. Milio Q will interrupt the Rammus there. I want Sion to be in a side lane. He's trying to connect his team. He has the TP. Can if he needs it, but no, they're just going to go for this top tier 2 here. The last remaining outer structure. Sion TP into the base. I don't know if I like that. He does have the ultimate out. They're going to try to convert on him, but no, he's going to actually be okay. I guess he's okay. Triple inhib for the red team. They're going to try to, I said it multiple times, put the finishing touches. Jamir takes a lot of damage. Big Arcade buying some space. Sion only worth a double hit. Hot Tech is on Mr. Bebo. That's not how he wanted to be. That is game 1. Game 1 going over to Project Ditto. That's good League of Legends right there. I think that is I mean, I'm not really sure how I feel about the Vagar pick in this game, but just a straight outdraft coming up. Good old-fashioned outdraft coming out from the red side here from Project Ditto. The Azir pick could have saved it, but it wasn't able to. That's game 1. And this is what you have to remember. No A2 Yellow Aatrox going into Series 2. No Hoptech Azir going into Game 2. No Kyle Kane, Azistor Kane going into Game 2. What a performance. All right. Let's see if I can get an invite into the lobby here as we go to the next draft wall. I do believe we're still live. Just going to check in with Rags here, make sure everything on the stream's end is watchable. I'm going to go into the spectator here. Yeah, there is some review to be done here. And wow. Just waiting on Jameer here. Probably going to need another invite. I'll be right back, guys. Course of Dragons asked the question which side here as we go into the game 2. Waiting on Jameer, Aitiola did send the draft law, so we can actually take a look at that right now. I'm assuming this means they want blue side. Yep. Given how the draft went last game, I'm not really sure if I'm comfortable with blue side on the first pick side. Also worthy to note, Course of Dragons Vagar gone, Goon Scion, which has been pretty professional, gone. Y is not really, not Y, sorry, Menacing Menopause is not really known for the Malphite, but that is gone. And, wow. See as we go and head into the game here. Honestly, as we are as we're going to the draft here, I do think this is when if Is Your Pantheon is left up, you start to look for things like Rumble Pantheon on a blue side here. Rumble Pantheon Oriana is a good pick if Hop Tech can play it. Azira's gone. Some of the premier mid Syndra isn't bad. Hop Tech is probably proficient on that. Galio, you could go something. I mean, you could also go something like Rumble Viego Galio. That's also fine. You pick away the Galio. But I don't think Kyle's very proficient on the Viego champ. Talon probably slots in pretty okay for that top side. 80 carry, Ezreal is still up, and Milio is still up. So they might look for that again just to keep staying on comfort. So we're getting into draft here. This side banning away Curse Dragon's Blitzcrank. I do not believe that was banned away on the first time. So Jonathan Silsong Jin taken off the table. Nico, that was these are quick bans. Ezreal gone for Y. Smolder gone for Y as well. So they're going to try to pinch Y's champ pool here. Kyle Zinzao is going to be taken away. Costa has a lot of champs here. You can first pick something like Pantheon. You can first pick, no, they're going to go for the Ziggs. I do like this adaptation because Curse of Dragon's lead mainly came from the bot lane, and Ziggs is a champ that is very, very easy to neutralize the lane. So I think this is a great pickup. And Ezreal Smolder, these are good bans against the Ziggs, right? These are champs that are very happy to sit in the lane and scale. So let's see what Curse of Dragon responds with. Seraphine. Interesting. Is Seraphine APC? Actually, no, I forgot Goons can still pick Scion. He was rated as Silver 1. But no, they're going to go for the Diana instead. This is where Hoptech Galio is open. I honestly think you can just slam Hoptech Galio and feel pretty happy about it. You know you have an 80 jungler, and Nigel has no shortage of 80 top lanes, so I think you just put the Galio in the bag. Probably something like Galio Pantheon. Pantheon's pretty happy to play into a team like this. Obviously, they're running into members, but he has outplay potential here. Talon is, I think, a bit hard when you're playing into Seraphine. And there's the Talon. Is this your Talon, though? It's a lot of fear. Yeah, there it is. Talon Galio. And now, it's going to be Galio, Hoptech Galio mid, Talon jungle. Malphite. I don't really like the Malphite angle here. Talon becomes pretty useless against this champ. I don't think you can actually pick the Malphite. I don't actually think you can pick it. Yeah. Goes for the Jace instead. Wow. I like the Jace pickup. I really do like the Jace pickup. That's a good pick. And Malphite, now they're going to have a free ways to protect and ban the Jace. Rush going away. Curse of Dragon's Pool getting pinched even further, but this guy has an ocean of champs. I mean, they all do the same thing, but he has quite a few number of champs here. You know what I think is a nice pick here for Curse of Dragons? If he can play it, I think Alistair is a very, very strong pick in this game. You can sort of knock away the Talon, you can knock away the Galio, set up for Jace. Scion Ben coming out here. Goons is able to pick it, and they're able to ban that away for him. I honestly think if he plays it, you just put the Alistair in the bag here. Nautilus instead. I don't really know how much I like that. They are going to lock it in. Curse of Dragons is a great hook champion player as well, but it's going to be kind of hard to find some value in this game. Nautilus does have a lot of appeal with the ultimate. It can interrupt a lot of things there. It can function like that, but I think Nautilus compared to Alistair gets pretty squishy in this game, and is going to be an easy target for some of the carries like this Talon or this Ambessa as the game goes on. Ambessa, obviously a great pickup for Nigel here. This is the sort of 80 topside you do want. Is going to have an easier time into the Jace with that sort of high mobility. Lockdown is very nice for Talon as well with the ultimate, so a great pickup here. And they're going to go Ziggs. Standard engage here with the Ziggs in the back. This is sort of what I think the sort of style that Nigel's team is very strong at. And I think you're going to have to be very wary of Hoptech in this mid game. Going to be looking for a lot of plays. Red side, 6 seconds, counting down. I have no idea. Goons is a mystery for me. Gonna be Mouse. Pantheon. Huh. Diana mid. Pantheon mid lane into Galio. I might be a counter. I do like Pantheon in this draft overall. I think Pantheon is supported pretty nicely by Seraphine and Diana and the Jace poking from afar. But I think I have to look at the compositions. I would definitely rate Blue Side's comp a little higher. They're all pretty aligned champs. You have a Ziggs in the back that can assist the dive and sort of play counter dive as well with his satchel. Whereas Curse of Dragons team, there's a lot of champions that want to do a lot of different things. We're gonna get another look at the draft here as we go into game two, but I'm fully expecting ATL's team to win this. I'm also not sure who exactly is actually piloting the Pantheon, but I guess we'll see. I hope he doesn't ban Galio. Be bad, very bad. Just give me a moment to sort of catch my breath here as we go into game two. Now, I do think that Talon has a pretty difficult time in this game. Diana gets pretty hard to one-shot, even if you go Conqueror. Um, Seraphine is generally staying pretty far back. But if you find the right angles, you can sort of pop this Jace and this Seraphine. So, and his sister is very talented on the pick. So we'll see what sort of magic he can work up here. Galio, I think overall is just a great pick right now in this game. They sort of want to. Well, actually, that's not even true. I mean, Galio he has a magic damage tanking, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hoptech picking the tasteful Galio skin, and Isister picking the best in slot Galio's. Sorry, not Galio. Talon skin as well. I think that's the best Pantheon skin. He does have a prestige, but I honestly prefer that one over the the prestige one. I think Dragon Slayer Pantheon's a great skin. Subterranean Nautilus also a classic. Prestige T1 Zeus skin, and B1 with the Blood Moon Diana skin. I like that Rel skin as well, to be honest. Again, given my computer, we're not going to get into game until like 2 minutes, but that's just the price we pay. Put a minute 117 here. Early game looks like they're able to get a deep ward onto this. Oh, it's Curse of Dragons. Oh, it's Menacing Menopause on the Seraphine mid. Wide Jace top. Goons on Nautilus support. Oh, Curse of Dragons is playing. Wait, no. What is? Is this Nautilus mid? Oh, it is Nautilus mid. Hook goes wide for Goons. Join B Tech coming out. We're lagging a bit here. Just get the scoreboard up. I'm sorry. I'm not really sure how I feel about not mid. Yeah, I mean, he's just getting dunked on. I don't really know how I like this Nautilus mid pick, to be honest. I'm not really sure how I feel about Seraphine Pantheon either. Missing a lot of farm here. Hoptech really punishing the Nautilus pick. It should be just be death. It also has flash, but I think Talon is more than. Diana's here actually. Hoko's there. Hunker! Is it possible? Yes, it is. Bebo trades 1-for-1, but Hoptech ends up getting 2 kills here. This Nautilus pick is getting heavily punished by Hoptech. And Mastery on Galio really showing here. Topside, Mbessa actually laning relatively well into the Jace, and bot lane is stable as we suspect. That's death. Curse of Dragons making it 2 for 2. Next kill gets feats. Well, I was going for it, but he doesn't have the mana. Mbessa is a champion that does use energy as opposed to mana. Talon looking for the kill here. Well, I might have to be careful. He does have a ward, but Talon's going the long way. Could just be a death here. Solo kill for Atiolo. Nope. He's a jungler there. Resistor ends up getting the kill. Great wraparound from Resistor to pressure. Gets the Mbessa flash out of it, but that is again feats going over to the blue team. Dinah's going to look for this Galio. Can she do anything to him? I think the answer is no. CC chain. Hook goes wide. You gotta hit these hooks, Goons. Gotta hit these hooks. That is how the champ works. Pantheon's just walking up here. Jamir's here to cover, but Jamir's only level 2. Oh, they're going on him. Goons. That should just be death, yeah. Bit of a rough start here to the Nautilus mid. Jace, you don't really want to be behind in this lane. Jace is a champ that actually scales into the game, but you do want to. He does also scale with gold, so. Looking a little bit rough here, almost a 1,000 gold lead. Actually, it is a 1,000 gold lead moving into past the 5-minute mark here. They see Vivo clearing the camps here. They know that he's on the red side. Nigel still walking up. He's going to back off a little bit now that his wave is sort of being frozen on him. But Pantheon has abandoned the Seraphine, and now they're going to look for a play on this A2 YOLO character with no flash. But great ward spots out the play before it even happens. Nautilus is trying to look for anything here, but the base damages coming up from the Galio are just too big. 2 level lead. I don't really like the hook back. I don't know if Nautilus can really trade back. But Diana's looking, and so is Pantheon. Hot take no flash. Nope, nothing here. Bit of a nothing burger. Visitors here on the cover here, eating in. They're gonna look for B-Bone. Great look from Jameer. I think this is looking pretty bad. Talon can't actually finish this kill. Jameer has left the game again. Let's see if they're going to force the pause. Yep, there it is. They did wait until after the play was done, so it should not be any complaints. Sorry here, just going to be quiet for a bit. Casting that last game has made my voice give out. Game looks pretty, yeah, I think this auto smith is going to have a lot of trouble. Optech already 3 kills. Going for this, I think it might be a Riftmaker item, or maybe it's Leander's first. Not quite sure. I think Jameer has reconnected. Can we start the game, guys? Um, Looks like we're gonna get in the game. It's good at least. There's Dragon clearing out the control ward. Bessa keeping up with the farm. Jace is actually moving in towards the mid lane. Looks like Nautilus wants to match the Ambessa instead. But they're going to cost them a TP, but Jace actually moved here, and they have first prior. They're going to try to burst the streak. So, you know, it's something going towards the red team here, first objective. That's a good look. Nice swap from red side. Talon's trying to counter juggle here. We see Diana. No, she's there. She's going to lose her top side for that play, but now that's just equalizing the form. They find the Talon. Pantheon's moving over. Hook goes wide. Talon does have a fleet footwork here. Pantheon's trying to catch him. Is it enough? No, I don't think it is. Talon's just going to walk away. Get away with a bit of a heist there. At least Diana still has the Raptors to clear, but Talon has his full bot side and more to clear. But he's probably going to want to hold off on that for a bit here, given that the grubs are being started from the blue side. First grub should go down. Maybe all three actually go down here. David trying to contest here. Actually, does he's pretty quick. They're looking for B-Bone. B-Bone flashing away. Great look from Hop Tech. Getting the enemy jungler's flash for pretty much nothing. Always you'd like to see that. Jace doesn't even get a plate. With the Ziggs here, you're really happy with the 3 grubs being taken. They're looking for Hop Tech. Hop Tech has an easy way out here. Still going to get found by Crescent Dragons. Still going to get a good trade. And this Nautilus is able to actually play into the Ambessa a little bit better. This is stabilizing the lanes a little bit. Goon's missing a lot of these hooks here. This is not what you want to see on the Nautilus. Looks like he's not really familiar on how to form with the champion. Looking for B-Bone. Galio ult does go down. Talon ult is also going down. B-Bone taking a lot of damage. No, it's not enough. Hop Tech is just really strong. T1 Jace still can't kill. First Dragons is looking for a play to be made. They find his Zister. Charm goes in. Zister goes down. Hop Tech versus 3. Menacing Menopause hitting as much as he can. Hop Tech is unstoppable, and Rel is here. Why is forced to flash. Jamir feeling himself a little bit with flashing in, and ends up being an even trade, but this is not what you want to see for the red side. Hook goes wide. Yo, Goons, brother! We gotta hit these. Talon establishing a CS lead. Actually has an item lead as well with the early Yomu's completion. Diana's going to clear away this pink. Diana's one of those champs you kind of want to have a farmer lead established on. Pantheon's going to go away and scout away the enemy blue buff here. For Diana to probably counter jungle. Gallo sees Pantheon moving up. Talon is trying to move to the play. Props to Menacing Menopause. You know, despite all the action, just keeping his 2 assists and keeping stable in the game. They're going to be very glad to have him as the game continues to go on. But Hot Tech 5-0 already has the Riftmaker and stacking Dark Seal. Find out the hook goes in. A bit late on that auto here. Goon's still trying to... I think he's going for a Heartsteel now. I think Ambessa gets out, man. I don't think Ambessa is in any sort of danger here at all. Yep. They're trying to put a lot of plays in onto this Nautilus, but they're not getting much out of it. It's going to be a completed item gap as ATL has the Eclipse here to really chunk out Goons. Are they starting up a Drake? Is the Drake start? Yes, it is. Ace knows he can't walk. They're just going to have to give this Drake. I'm not even sure if they have better scaling. I think if you're A2 yellow, you can low-key just die this Nautilus, but you might just get CC locked, so it could be hard. Trying to root him under the tower. A2 yellow gonna dash out, very mobile champion. Nautilus does have the TP here. A2 yellow might try to stop it. They're looking to dive him. Diana's here to cover. Great look from A2 YOLO here, just gonna go for the Diana instead, and now this Nautilus is sitting duck. Oh, doesn't even cast. This is just domination from the blue side. Dragons gets out. Seraphine's actually going to be able to pick up a kill here. Jonathan Silksong is going to be fine with his life. Oh! Menacing Menopause flashing in for the double kill. Giving signs of life here for the enemy team, red team. But this Talon is just going to get a freebie. Yep. Double kill for Talon. She's going to be pretty happy with that. I don't know, man. I think it's just kind of cooked for red. Still no Heartsteel for this Nautilus. Nautilus is very behind. 15 minutes, no first item. You do have the Seraphine to sort of play around, but still pretty hard. Yeah, ATL is just gonna take the turret in his face. I think they find Jameer. Talon is here. Root goes wide. They're just gonna find the support here. Support will go down, but it's gonna be traded for the Seraphine. ATL is here with the TP. Galio's here with the ultimate, and what they thought was a winning play is just losing. Galio getting charmed up. Gonna die for it. Kill goes over to Y. Nice flash from Resistor. Maybe Pantheon can clean up some kills? Yep, he can. I don't think he can do any more than that, though. Force a flash for it, and yeah. I mean, this is all but confirmed we're going to Game 3, right? Yeah, this is the Herald. There should be feats going over. It's going to take a lot of heroics coming out from the red side to overcome this sort of deficit. I think it really just comes down to Nautilus not knowing the matchup, but I can't even blame Goons here. I mean, this is Hop Tech on his one trick, right? They tried to go for a strategy. They're trying to get rid of some champs here, and it doesn't work, but you have to try. Trying to look for game 3 here as Exalt goes down. Curse of Dragons taken promptly. A2 YOLO actually diving onto the Jace here, getting a lot of damage here. A2 YOLO forced to back away. Actually, going to try to look. It all comes down. A2 YOLO might have to give his life for the play. Trom goes in. Shutdown does go through. Hop Tech trying to clear away some damage onto the Jace, but you get a shutdown out of it. Keep the lead at 3k, but yeah. Look, another Ziggs. They might have called the Ziggs here. Overstepping here in the mid lane. Give it to Jace. Nice. Shut down. Over to the Jace here. Goldie gets cut down to 2.5k. Resistors trying to look for a play. Trying to bait out with the Talon W. They have a numbers advantage here. They actually want to fight with these champs. Ziggs does have teleport up in 20 seconds here. This is the sort of pick you want before the Drake. Unfortunate positioning there coming out from Jonathan Silksong. But Curse of Dragons gets a lot of HP chucked out. Trying to drag it out. Let's see if no Ziggs is enough to make the fight swing in their favor. Galio poking with the Q. Helen is in the pit. Jace Shockwave goes wide. Ziggs is here for the TP. They've lost their angle. Hook onto Hop Tech. Dyna ult is there. No, it's unfortunate, but oh, what a great engage coming out from Jameer. That's just going to be the ace. Menacing Menopause trying to flash away, trying to get something here. It's going to be a full ace and the drag going over to blue side. Yeah, really just comes down to this Nautilus in the lane. Yeah, I mean, Otacon goes down, you have a Drake lead, you're up 6k gold at 20 minutes. Enemy team doesn't really have any big scaling. Seraphine is obviously there. But I mean, look at this Galio man, 2 items, look at this Ziggs, 2 items, Talon, 2 items, and he has the Serpent's Fang to stop the Seraphine from doing what she wants to do. Your Jace is strong, has the Manimune spike, but don't know. It just looks really hard position here. The Nautilus is not going to provide much value in this game at all. Trying to pick onto Goons, trying to pick onto nice Diana ult, trying to pick onto Christian Grey. I mean, this is just domination. This is a return to form from Big Brolic Cuties. This is a team we know. This is on them on their strongest picks as well. Surrender vote failed for red team 1-1. Yeah, I mean, I don't really blame them.
Come on, does this look dangerous to you?
And not much to say here. ATO diving a little deep. I could probably be able to shut him down. No, not even, man. ATO goes down, but this is. I mean, they're just trying to send it, see if they're gonna do anything. Let's just lose in peace, bro. That's what red team is saying right now. Nautilus is 1-6-1. Pantheon is 2-7-5. Just pick me whatever and let's lose in peace.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Right up for the end. Nautilus is up. He's gonna try to defend, but I think that's all she is. Pantheon is gonna be here as well. They're gonna try to cause some shutdowns here, but I mean, this Nautilus just. That guy's just Mr. Godlike. Should be another Hextech Dragon in the bag for blue side. Yeah, just 11k gold lead at 25 minutes. ATO going for the, not ATO, sorry. Optech going for the Zanyas here, just to be a little bit more unkillable, you know, even though he already is unkillable. That is a great look. Great R coming out here. It doesn't matter. No, there's nothing to follow up. Unlucky. I don't actually. I mean, he's third. I mean, this talent chip is so bad, man. You cannot convince me this talent chip is good. Goes for ult play like that and just get shot. Report rags for intake. Sorry, just going to the chat here. I mean, it's not. I mean, this is a pretty dominant showing, but I mean, this is. I mean, we missed the Jace death, right? But I mean, there's not much to stream here, man. I mean, this is just not. I mean, there's only so many times, like I said, they're getting dunked on. Surrender, good. All right, we didn't want to. Yeah, we did not want to watch the rest of that game, bro. I'm gonna give it a fuck at you. Nobody was interested in watching the rest. Let's go to game 3. Uh, Going into game 3 here. This is for all the marbles. I think it was a pretty strong, controlled showing from Project Ditto in game 1, but big Brolic beauties, not beauties, sorry, big Brolic cuties, uh, punching back here, showing they still have some fight left in them, evening this series to 1-1. And I have to say, some definitely interesting draft pryos coming out from Team 2. I think that a lot of their draft hinged on the Nautilus mid pick sort of performing, and it just didn't. So let's see what they're cooking up now. Looks like Carson Dragon's team is going to select blue side for the first time in the series. Probably going to try to take away some prio picks. If you're in blue side, that's kind of how you want to play. But I honestly don't think that strategy is going to work against ATLO's team, given that Hoptech is a Grandmaster player and Kyle has Kyle is. There's this notion that Kyle is limited on the champions that he can play, but I mean, let's just go down the list here. He can play Zac, he can play Pantheon, which is still up. He can play Alan, which is banned. He can play Diana. He can play Wukong. He can play Xin Zhao. He can play. Is that it? He was trying to learn Viego from. He can play Gwen. He can kind of play Gwen. But yeah, I mean, he has a lot of champs left, especially in Game 3 draft. Let's go to the draft lull here. Let's see what we're. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the draft. Picks going out here. First side, blue side is going to ban away the Jin, Curse of Dragon, trying to get Jonathan Silksong off of comfort. Remember, he still has a Ziggs up. Curse of Dragon's Blitzcrank is going to get banned away here. Eco ban, I'm not really sure who that's for. Is that for Jamir? Could be for Jamir. He has played in previous series. Looks like Nigel's team is going to just opt to keep the same bans. Oh, okay, Zinzao ban and the Scion ban coming out early instead of on the 4-5. Curse of Dragons actually picking away the Ziggs themselves here. Looks like that is the answer. But I think now Maple Rat can also just like be like, all right, now you, Jamir, you can just put the Seraphine in the bag. You know what I mean? Or no, not Jamir, sorry, Jonathan Stokesong if he does play it. But he still has his Ezreal up. Oh, they're going to go for Varus. Wow. Still waiting on that red second pick here. You could go for something like a Leona with Varus, Renata. They're just going to blind the Renekton. Not sure how I feel about that. Y is a pretty strong top laner when he's counter pick. And when you pick the Ziggs like this, you kind of think it's not Y, right? So, kind of curious to see what he has in the tank for this. Mundo here. Mundo into Renekton. Not really sure how I feel about that one. But if Renekton does get behind, Mundo will scale pretty well. But there's a Varus on the enemy team, right? And if he goes on hit, I feel like Mundo just gets shredded. Thresh, Curse of Dragons, Thresh coming out here. That is his one trick. So these are some of the strong picks that you sort of leave up when you go for things like Blitzcrank. Or it does have counter pick though. You can go something like Renata. You can go something like Braum. It's probably fine for the game. Actually, Braum is probably really nice. You have a Renekton and you have a Varus as well, right? Easy to stack up the passive. They're going to go for the Pantheon instead. That is Kyle Pantheon. Finally, we're seeing it this series. And it's a treat to watch when it's on. You know what I mean?
Here, another.
B-Bones Fiddlesticks being banned away. Hoptech Victor being banned away. But no Azir Galio to worry about. I think you can just ban the Echo now. B-Bone Wukong also banned away here, but he might just pick Udyr. But I think it's honestly fine. Sorry, I had to back away from it. Looks like it's going to be Varus Seraphine in the bot lane. I think it's going to be pretty easy for David, actually. Not sure how I feel about that. There's going to be a Morgana jungle, I think, coming out from B-Bone, which I do like, given the enemy team comp. A lot of AP threat, though. I kind of want to see an 80 mid laner coming out from Y. Or from, sorry, not Y, Goons. What's he cooking up? Ezreal mid. Or it could be Ziggs mid, actually. It could be Ziggs mid, and they just put the Ezreal bot. Ezreal Thresh is a very standard, very safe lane. I'm not opposed to it. Hot Tech Echo. Shit. Shit, man. I think you put the Ziggs into the Echo. Just trade clearing waves really fast. Ziggs has a satchel, is able to get away from a lot of things. I think you just put the Ezreal Thresh in the bot lane. and you sort of dribble from there. Kick Jameer, he's glitched. Looks like they're ready now. Try to get in the game. Same band's coming out. Let's see what we can sort of look to expect here. Just going through the draft here. Again, I mean, the only reason I'm being a little quiet is because when I casted that first game, like, it was legit hurting my voice, so I kind of want to make sure that I can cast the other game. But I mean, let's sort of try to analyze these cards a bit. Right, I think should have an easy time into the early stages of the game. I think Ezreal Thresh is pretty happy into Varus Seraphine. I think Persia Dragon as well is very happy into the matchup. Kyle can probably hover, but I'm sure that David can do a lot to try to make the most out of them. T1 Virus, Yumi Yusuf. Gonna be goons on the Mundo top. Of course, the dragons obviously on the Thresh. There's gonna be missing manipulations on the Ziggs. It's gonna be Wild the Ezreal, so this could be Ziggs. And it is gonna be B-build only. I think we're gonna take a look out for here. If she's able to bind up this Echo, force the ultimate with Q, we're going to see a lot of value coming out of this pick here. Let's just try to wait to get into the game here. I'm just trying to save my voice. Again, we're probably going to be in like a minute. We're going to probably get in the game like a minute or so in. Just bear with me here. I'm going to try to wait to load in here. I think Pantheon honestly has a pretty hard game with the Morgana and the Ziggs and the Thresh here. I think a lot of this is going to come down to how much Echo can do, but Echo is on one of his premier champs here, so. Again, still trying to just load into the game here.
A summoner has reconnected.
Should be your game correct. We actually started on time though. Almost ready. I'm going to find a better McDonald's Wi-Fi. Okay. Let's try to organize this right now. Pantheon going for Blue Smite here. Of course, Kyle goes for Blue Smite, bro.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
They're kind of looking for the level 1 here. Catching out Jameer. One is stunned though, but the hook connects. Jameer's going to probably be forced to flash here. No flash, just chooses to die instead. First blood to Ezreal. That is how you want the lane to go. Nice hook from Curse of Dragons. No sum spent. Ezreal is going to get a full back. Oh, dude, if this was old League of Legends, you would have been here with this. But sad. Just going to have to settle for a 250 dagger. Unlucky, bro. Excuse me. Jameer and Silksong playing it very safe here, staying in that bush. Hop Tech walking up. And we're going to get to the lanes. I think Menopause probably just wants to keep dumping waves in, keep the Echo under the tower. It's going to be a pretty simple game plan here. Pantheon is going to be trying to look on the mid, try to snowball to Echo. But I don't really know if there's much to do here. Great Q from Jameer. Q goes wide for Y, taking a lot of damage from the minions. What a hook from Curse of Dragons. Jonathan Silksong barriering here. I'm not really going to get much use out of it. Goon's doing pretty well for himself so far in the top lane. Doesn't look too bad. Trading away with that level 2. I should really know Goons only has one farm. So getting a lot of the wave denied to him by A2 YOLO. But he's going to catch a lot of the wave here, so it's probably not too bad. Gar's only 7 CS. Obviously down the barrier, he's probably a little afraid to walk up. And with his Thresh looking, especially how these past few hooks have gone, probably a little scared to continue. But I think the objective for Jonathan Silksong this game and Jameer Ballane is to not give as many kills as possible. And if he can do that, I think Echo Hoftech can definitely carry the game. Actually up CS into the Ziggs matchup. Not really up HP, but he's going to be... If he gets one of those jumps to land onto Ziggs with the Halo Blades, he's going to crack his passive very quickly and probably do a lot of damage to the Ziggs. Pantheon actually looking for a top gank. Echo's walking into top river. They're trying to look for Morgana. Goon's trying to move, but ATLO's not letting him go to the fight. ATLO going for a big trade. I think Mr. Rebone's fine. Prince Dragon is trying to pressure as they can. Morgana forced to flash. Echo going in. I think they're going to try to full dive this Mundo. Ziggs is going to be here to cover. Mundo has both sums. Echo has no flash. Pantheon does have flash. Should just be a clean dive. Yeah, this guy's dead. Actually, his sister's kind of low, but I mean, I don't know how Ziggs connects with the tower. I'm completely honest. Pantheon gets defeated Warfare in the bot gank. Two 0-1 on this Pantheon pick. Morgana going down in that early dive and Mundo going down in that early dive really allowed this Pantheon to accelerate. Only 700 gold lead at 6 minutes. I mean, most of the gold is on the Pantheon. So we're going to see what Kyle does with this lead. But overall, I think this is a better game state than it was before. They're going to use the Thresh to try to contest the drag take here. They hook the Pantheon in, no E. Echo is trying to walk in here with the ultimate ability. Ziggs has an ultimate as well, forcing Y into the choke. Ziggs' ultimate barely clips Jonathan Silksong. Seraphine is able to root the Curse of Dragons, but he's still there. Gets the hook onto Jameer. That should just be a kill. Nice. Echo going on Y. Nice play coming out from Curse of Dragons here. They're looking for Jonathan Silksong. Hook should be coming soon. No, looks like the cooldown is too low. Stun goes wide. Hot Tech is going to try to fight the drag here. Gold lead is equalized after that kill goes over to Y. Jonathan Silksong being kept to do a measly 19 CS here. Oh, I think this was a bad look for Renekton. Renekton just goes down. Yeah, I don't know what that Renekton was doing. I mean, he did have the ult in his pocket, but once he got CC locked, I think it's just a bad look. Let's see. Gold lead does go over in favor of, excuse the voice crack, of the blue team here off of that play. 2 kills collected, but wow. Y going in. Jonathan Simpson cut to level 4 here. Y up 2 levels on the Frosted Ezreal as well. What a nice skin. Yolo, I mean, Goons has sort of made up the CS deficit that he was put in before. Oh, he thought that Renekton would dash, but Renekton just sidestepped the hook. Echo going up for this play, but this is a 4v3 right now. 2 members in the bot lane. Hoptech trying to look for a play on Medicine Menopause. Not really going to get much here. Orhana's trying to start the grubs. Rudo to Echo. B-Bone is only level 5, whereas Pantheon is level 6, though, so Pantheon can join this fight at a moment's notice here. Definitely something to keep in mind as the play continues. Hurricane Sniper with these Qs though. Surfing is reset. I think Surfing is going to look to move over to this fight here. B-Bone probably desperately trying to hit 6. Now has the ultimate. Going to try to look here. Massive Menopause takes a bit of a trade. Echo speeding away here. Massive Menopause trying to reconnect with the fight. 1 grub does go down. It actually goes down to a Zister. Mr. B-Bone, wow, starting with that stopwatch component here, gets a decent ulti off. The Renekton ult is still ticking. They're going to try to kill this Renekton. Renekton Q is able to sustain a little bit. Menacing Menopause takes down Zister. Hoptech trying to go for Goons, flashes in actually. Renekton gets a nice stun onto Menacing Menopause. That is 2 for 1 on the fight. And they're going to blue team is going to back away. B-Bone actually is going to go for the grubs here. Seraphim's going to try to stop. I think B-Bone can smite away 1. Yep, he will. And I think you're just going to take that. You get the Pantheon ulti. You stop the triple grub take. I think you're pretty happy with how things are going right now. Obviously they're down the grubs, and they still get the feet there, but you could have gone 3 grubs down, and you could have helped this Varus or this Echo sort of really attack these towers with that extra grub might, right? And you got a Pantheon ult out of it, so I think this should be going good. Next big fight is the Drake fight. Wyatt knows that Ezreal's coming, or not Ezreal, sorry, Echo's coming. Jonathan does not keep that CS deficit to what it was before. Goons now with the Bramble Vest able to punish this A2 YOLO Renekton a little more liberally now. Lane shade have been sort of equalized across the map. I mean, Echo has a bit of a lead, but it's a pretty even game overall. Just the grub, 1 grub advantage for red side. This is a lot more. Oh, as I say that, They're trying to full send onto a blue here. Morgana ult is able to keep the Echo away. I think Pantheon should go down here. Failed engage. Pantheon trying to go in without any ult here. Gonna pay with his life. Jonathan Silksong almost gets hooked by Curse of Dragons there. Hook goes wide, but it is a kill at the end of the day, and it should give them Drag Cryo with his Zister dead. His ultimate is coming off cooldown, but it's still a long ways off. And with no jungler, Hottek might look for fast. Being pressed low. Curse of Dragons, I like his position here. He's going to be able to try to play the Echo and keep him out of the pit. That's going to be one Drake secured for Reds, or blue team. Solid 1K gold lead here, up a dragon here. Nothing really too crazy on the blue side. They're trying to keep the game stable, and I think, Pantheon is looking for Glitch ult, but it's too late. Pantheon able to one-shot with that Sundered Sky with the ultimate. Gonna get Renekton a little bit more time to sort of hack away at this turret. Great look from A2 YOLO and his sister. Why is sort of forced to weapon too late as David is trying to make a pick onto A2 YOLO? Doesn't really amount to much though. A2 YOLO is going to be able to hide behind his incoming wave. Curse of Dragons going for the extended play, but Zister is still here. Why? Oh, Why kills him. I think Why just gets straight dry double kill in the bot lane. Yes, Flash. Does he go for it? He's coming up soon. No, double. Oh my God! Why 1v2 in the bot lane with that Triforce, able to kill the enemy bot laners both, even though it's 2v1. Mainly because I think it's the Triforce, and he also has enemy team also has just components here. Hottek not able to do much here, trying to catch this Ezreal unawares, but Y saves his E and gives his Ziggs time to whack away at Victor. Taking a lot of damage here, forced to ult away, but now he's sort of getting converged on here, trying to trade away, uses the flash. Pantheon is full HP and is peeling. Menacing Menopause will get lanterns away. Curse of Dragons buying so much time for its piece, buying a lot of disengage. Mr. B-Bone, bit of an ambitious look here, probably gonna have to give his life for it. And yeah, that's no flash, no zone. He does buy time for the rest of his team to get out, but again, probably a little bit of an ambitious one from Blue side going to be able to comfortably start up this Rift Herald here and move their objective picker to 2-1. They're going to look for this Renekton. So as Hook comes in, Hook goes wide, and Renekton's going to be able to walk it out. They're able to. It was a great stun by Hoptech. 4-man stun. His sister comes in for the play. Menacing Menopause is down. Pantheon is still looking for more, but I don't think they have the damage to kill. honestly a great stun by Hoptech. 4-man stun into Pantheon all diving at that point. Sorry guys, I'm kind of lacking on the color cast. Why still? This is the sort of the shining hope for blue team here with that 4-1 lead, 60 CS lead, trying to go towards that Miramana, and they're trying to get this this feat here cleared. I think if they get this Drake, it should be just feats. Pantheon is trying to fight. Echo does not have any TP. I think that means they're just giving it. Pantheon might look for steal, but no. Yeah, that's feats. So this means, you know, feats is a good indicator. I would say that a blue team, despite the rocky start, has won the early game. Let's see what they can do now. Echo does have the Lich Bane completed. Hoptech developing a bit of a lead for 20 CS lead for himself in the mid lane. Bit of a menace in the sidelines. Great hook from Curse of Dragons. Barrier comes through. Jameer also comes through with the W. I mean, honestly, I feel like Jonathan Silksong's motto right now is better safe than sorry with his barriers. And he's only died once this game. So, I mean, you know, power to him. Ult goes for double. Curse of Dragons looking for a hook here. Finds the Varus. Q lands. That was a picture-perfect a kill coming out from both Morgana and Y. Another one into Y's pocket here. 5, 1, and 2 on the Ezreal. And with that, mid-turret will go down. I mean, this Pantheon is very strong, but Morgana has sort of reached item parity on this pick here, only down like a camp and a half. This Mundo is also on parity with the Renekton and is actually going to take the turret here as well. Going to scale pretty happily. Ulting there to just be safe, but the top lane advantage is not really what you'd want it to be. The jungle advantage is not really what you need it to be. And Ziggs is just going to start farming these waves like crazy, and Echo's going to have to start making some plays here to sort of solidify the lead he's developed for himself. Why, definitely the player to watch this game. About to tick over to the Muramana. Yep, there it is. And with the prize they have, they catch Jonathan Silksong, force the flash, and now they know Varus has no stones. With the sort of goal lead that they've established for themselves, 2K and 2 drags, they're going to just start hitting the Sakatacon. Echo just wants to play side here, try to get games for himself. Hoptech feels like he needs to take the game into his own hands. Renekton trying to play for a flank here, but going to get a lot of his HP chunked out there. Pantheon also ulting in, but a little too late. Otacon already goes over to blue side. Pantheon getting a lot of damage off this heat. Hoptech here with the teleport onto the side, onto the back line. Putting ult away here. Menacing Menopause living with a sliver of HP. And that's pretty much a free Otacon. I mean, you do lose Ziggs Flash, right? But before, you got Echo Flash, you got Echo TP, you got Pantheon ult. I think you're very, very happy here. Varus goes for a nice look onto the Y, but unfortunately just doesn't have the damage for that to mean much here. Only the Youmu's. Curse of Dragons is hungry for more, but a red team is just going to back off, and Echo is going to start moving towards hitting this blue turret. The mid-tier 1, I should say. Mr. B-Bone now actually ahead in farm, despite his sister having the item lead on those 4 kills. Let's see here. Red team is sort of overloading to the mid lane here. I'm not really sure what they're trying to look for. Maybe they're just trying to catch somebody unawares. They see Morgana. Izister is going to be able to steal away one of the camps here. Actually, I guess they're just positioning for the dragon here. First of Dragons is going to get a land a hook, but Hoptech is really chunked. Why the target here? Hoptech halting away. Why being able to sort of dodge away from all the enemy team? Renekton has no flash. Why is still free hitting from the back. Hook goes wide for Curse of Dragons, but it doesn't really matter. This Morgana slow is going to come through. Jamir is going to go down. B-Bone hits another Q. Sinks all chunks the enemy team. Great hook from Curse of Dragons. His sister goes down. Double flay. And that's an ace. I think that's an ace. Wow. Curse of Dragons team came to play here. Really trusting Y in the bot lane to generate a lead here. 5-1 and 5 on this Ezreal. He actually got a double kill on his very lonesome. So props to him. And with that ace at 23 minutes, blue team is on sole point. Hoptech trying to get some gold for himself, trying to get this tier 1 turret, but with Hoptech on the other side here, blue team is free to overload onto this Renekton. Izister here to try to cover Menacing Menopause, no satchel, but that's just all taken away. Hoptech only level 13 here. Goons is just sort of running him down. Goons knows he has the spell shield, but Hoptech is just going to run away. No TP on this Hoptech, but it's going to be coming up soon. I feel like Big Brolic Cuties lives and dies through skirmishing. So we're going to have to see if they're going to be able to find a favorable fight soon before the soul comes up. Blue side is positioned to take over this mid lane here and probably use that to get Nashor's prio. Hoptech TPing in here. Also, I keep saying 3 Drags, but they also have an Otacon. That's something to keep in mind. Wow, what a hook from Curse of Dragons here. Jamir going to take a lot of HP. Menacing Menopause caught on the side, though. They have 3 members for the Nashers on top side. Looks like blue team just wants to keep shoving in the mid and bot wave, try to dissuade the Nasher as a possible. Hoptech going to use what he has to try to go for a play. Hook into stun. Oh my god, Hoptech is killed before he can even ult. Great combo. His sister is able to run away, but that is Hoptech tried to take the game into his own hands there, and you can kind of see he had the play set up. He was going to like try to get a multi-kill there with his ultimate, but just gets CC locked. There was a good look onto the Ziggs, but I mean, the Echo just gets traded back, and it's a 1-for-1. But there's going to be a fight here. Resistor onto Mr. B-Bone. Curse of Dragons and Morgana get shut down here. Goons trying to make the most of the fight here. Resistor forced to flash away. Goons is still pretty relatively healthy. Ezreal is... Oh no, the E goes wide for Ezreal. Is actually still going to be able to kill the Renekton, but kind of unfortunate here. Goons actually trades for the Varus, so it is a 2-for-2. Goons going to try to run away now as Echo and Seraphine look for the chase. I feel like Echo's going to be able to catch him, but we'll see. That regen is coming up really nicely for the Mundo. He's actually regenning so much with the Warbucks. What the hell? They stopped the regen there. Optech is getting slowed up. Goons is slowing up. He's kind of on point with these cleavers, I'm not going to lie. Ziggs trying to connect there. I think Goons is out, yeah. 3 for 3. That looked like a really solid engage from Pantheon, but it didn't even matter. Ezreal clips the Pantheon, trying to show that mid-wave in for Nash. This Mundo is trying to keep the Renekton busy. Renekton at this point I feel like has been well and truly outskilled. These items that Goons has are just better, even though they're on item parity. Blue team is set up for the soul here. Mundo has TP for this fight. I want to see Mundo... See, I want to see Mundo just stay in the top side and TP to the fight as needed, but it looks like Renekton is trying to look to join anyways. Or maybe he can just walk. It looks like both team top laners are just opting to walk to the fight instead. Actually, no, Renekton is TPing, and so is Mundo. Great hook onto Resistor. Resistor is just going to lose all of his HP here, I think. Sun goes down. Great Seraphine ult gets 2. Hoptech is going to try to finish Morgana, but Morgana just flashes out. Ezreal ult goes wide, but it's already 2 for nothing for the blue team. And with the 2 kills they got, one of them being the jungler and one of them being the Grandmaster mid laner, ATVOLO pops his ult here, trying to get some ult back, trying to draw the enemy team away from the Nash, but it doesn't even matter. ATVOLO can't find enough space for it to matter. Curse of Dragons, a sniper with these hooks. ATVOLO goes down. Redemption, a little, too late. And with the 3 kills and the drag taken, blue team are comfortable moving into the Nasher and trying to solidify the 6k gold lead. Yeah, it should just be free Nash contest. I mean, Pantheon is here, but it doesn't even matter. I mean, Morgana burns this thing, Ziggs burns this thing, Ezreal, not really a known Nasher burner, but you have 2 champs, you can really just get through it quickly. And that's a 7k gold lead. So they're going to send, I think they're going to send a Goons, probably to a Silent, or maybe they just try to bone rush it mid, I'm not really sure. So let's see here, they're pushing the mid lane, Goons is threatening the top side. You do have a good wave clear with the Seraphine and the Varus, so you're going to have to look for a fight here, I think, before you get some of these base turrets. But they're going to set their sights on the mid-tier 2. Notice how the team is posturing this, right? They have Mundo setting up the wave, pushing in the wave, and they're going to have the rest of the team hover between mid and top so that they have the option to actually move to this tier 2. But it looks like they're actually going to keep trying to siege the mid lane with these Baroned up cannon minions. Dealing a lot of damage here. Resistor already down to half HP off of nothing but poke. Baron minion takes down the turret. Goons takes down the top tier 1, and that is just already a Varus kill. Renekton is in there trying to get a lot of space for his team, but no, just gets stunned down. Morgana, what a great pick in this game. Why on a rampage 10, 2, and 8? And I think that's the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an upset in the upper bracket. Oh, great hook from David. Remember, Renington has no ult, so he should just go down here pretty quickly. Tron goes in, but I think Isister is going to go down. And Jameer also should go down here. This is an ace coming in from blue team, cleaning up the Nexus. Wow. Playing for kills. Disrespectful. Optech has already left the game. He knows what's happened. He knows what's been done today. He knows that Project Ditto will take the best and give it to sorry, I messed up the cast there. Big Bro Cuties. It ends up being a 2-1. Honestly, fortunately, with the way things are, I don't really feel like I can do an interview. But if I had to pick my MVP votes, Y number 1, Curse of Dragons number 2, and I'm gonna honestly have to say B-Bone number 3. It's between Goons and B-Bone, but I think B-Bone had some really great looks on the Rammus in game 1, and he had some really, really great looks on the Morgana in this game 3 here. So, shout out to those guys. Solid game, solid series, very entertaining series to cast. And this is just the first of week 7, baby. So keep tuning in. Keep watching your fellow OLS members duke it out, the playoffs, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks everybody for watching.